Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
It's that time of the day when we talk product quality and safety on television. As always, my pleasure to bring the program to you. Standard and You has been designed to empower consumers with relevant information to make the right choice and also support local manufacturers, especially small and medium enterprises, to grow. This week on the program, our focus is on the energy-saving bulb, plus a sensitization workshop on the dangers of patronizing sellers of used tires, otherwise known as Tokumbo tires. Please relax and enjoy this brand new episode of Standard and You. I'll be back shortly.
Muna fata shekaru na da za su zo, mutanen mu za su yi la'akari da aikin da muke yi, kuma za su lura cewa ya fi cancanta ka sai abu na kwarai da ka sai abu na arha.
Kai meze n'obodo anyị a, kai mee ka ihe a na-eme n'obodo anyị a, ma ihe a na-ebubata n'obodo anyị a ọ dị mma. Anyị na-ayọ biko ka anyị jikọọ aka na-asị na ofu aka adịghị ekechi ngwugwu. Ka anyị jikọọ aka ka Nigeria wee wọrọ anyị obodo.
Ẹ ká lajú wálẹ̀ gbogbo tá a bá máa fún wàrà ká lè pé o tó pé ojú òṣùwọ̀n. Èyí tí ò bá yé wa àgbẹ̀ tó bá mọ̀ ń pẹ́ ọ̀tọ̀ wà sọ́nà. Èyí tá a bá dẹ̀ rà tí ò bá pójú òṣùwọ̀n ẹ lọ sí standard organization iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tó bá súnmọ́ yín jù ẹ lọ ṣàlàyé fún wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n á ràn yín lọ́wọ́.
Welcome to the world of standard and quality, where we offer you information on product safety and quality. The program is Standard and You.
Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
We will not relent in our fight against fake and substandard goods, especially life-endangering products like used tires. Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Boluma, made this declaration during a sensitization workshop held in Ibadan, Oyo State.
Tire is an important component of a vehicle. Every day, thousands of people move from one location to another to be with loved ones or in search of a source of livelihood. This sensitization work is to create awareness among people on the dangers of used tires, popularly known as Tokumbo tire. The exercise has become necessary following the senseless killing of individuals resulting from accidents caused by used tires.
The essence to eradicate completely or reduce to the barest minimum the havoc that the used tires and substandard tires are causing in the society, and tell them about the tragedy of using substandard tires or Tokumbo tires and the way the vulcanizer are removing tires. They are contributing to the destruction of tires. And when you put new tire inside one another, say like one tire you put stock about 5 tires, it will destroy the tire. So it's not only the used tires, we are talking about even the new one that are stuck inside one another.
Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, who was represented by the agency's head in Ibadan, Oyo State, expressed the SON's resolve to check the distribution of used tires in the country.
Tokumbo tires, we don't want it at all. We are not second-hand citizens, we are first-class citizens, and we want this eradication of substandard tires, Tokumbo tires, to be out of Nigeria so that we can bring in the manufacturers of new tires to come back to Nigeria.
The interactive forum afforded participants the opportunity to be acquainted with modern trends in tire maintenance and the dangers associated with the use of Tokumbo tires.
When the people are determined to do the needful, to do the right thing, definitely we can win the battle. As you can see, the Standard Organization of Nigeria is bringing this very sensitive and important issue forward to sensitize, to educate the public. And so as I have mentioned, the onus is on them now to collaborate with Standard Organization of Nigeria and with the state government to ensure that the people comply. We're talking about compliance here, and I believe they will definitely do that. And when they do that, it will guide the people.
There's a lot of things to know. Now it has to have every information that is stated on it. And it has to have the country of origin must be there, the production date must be there, all the rating, speed rating, temperature rating, all these things have to be indicated. However, you also must to have the minimum of maybe 1.6 of the groove depth. For example, now if a car is also new, does not mean that it doesn't have manufacturer defect. During the manufacturing, they have defect, so that one cannot last. So to identify that, we have to put our system in place, which we are doing now, product identification code that we are using to identify product now, directly from the manufacturer.
The awareness campaign has been up and about the country. Just sometime last year, was it? If you recall, there was a group of Chinese people that brought in a lot of substandard tires that were actually clamped down by the agency. And I think they are really, really enforcing it and making sure that the issue of substandard tires is brought to book.
This is a laudable program which we are in support of.
The Director General wants dealers on the product to desist from importing used tires into the country, as only brand new tires would be allowed into our markets. Nigerians, he stressed, should insist on quality and resist the temptation to expose themselves to avoidable debts by patronizing sellers of used tires.
They should stay away from selling substandard tires. They should say no to selling of substandard tires. And it's not only Tokunbo tires that are substandard. Some tires, new tires, they stock about 5 or 6 tires in one particular one. The moment you are forcing this tire to enter inside that one, it has distorted the trading of the tires. And the vulcanizers too, they are not helping the matter. Instead of using modernized equipment to remove the tires, they will be beating the tires as if they are pounding yam. We don't want that one, because pounding the tires is distorting the tires, and it will lead to bursting of tires.
Some participants bared their minds on the workshop.
Tires, they said it usually caused accidents on our highway. What we can do to stop the trend is for the federal government to reopen our closed and wash away tire factory, like Michelin, Dunlop and others. If government can revive those factories, selling used tire will be minimal.
I'm very glad for this particular gathering, because I learned a lot from SON. The experience that I thought that I have before, they are nothing, but I learned a lot today, and all those things that I learned, I will put it in practice, and I will mobilize people. I will try to teach people in my local area. In the area that I'm selling, I will teach my customers, I will teach both the drivers, I will teach everybody that making use of vehicles about tire, because I have learned a lot. I'm very grateful.
SON has been trying. I think this workshop is another way of showing that they are doing their best, and it's left for us who attended the workshop, who are stakeholders in the industry, to do our own best too, as they are doing their own best too. That's what I see.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, brings a new lease of life to Nigeria SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards to improve made in Nigeria products for export. We have developed more standards for products like sesame, cocoa, gari, and more, courtesy of our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turned around time for SUNCAP, MANCAP, and other certification processes. SON has intensified market surveillance, raids, and seizures to reduce substandard products in circulation, and offenders shall be prosecuted. Join SON in ridding our nation of substandard products. If you see something, say something. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
It's no longer news that the filament bulbs we used to know as the yellow bulbs are fast being replaced with the energy-saving ones. What is news and disturbing to many is that some unscrupulous importers have started flooding our markets with substandard light-emitting diodes and compact fluorescent lights, thereby denying Nigerians value for their money. In this report, we will tell you all you need to know about the energy-efficient bulbs and what the Standards Organization of Nigeria is doing to check the importation of fake bulbs into Nigeria.
It's a conducting wire with high melting point that forms part of an electric bulb. It's known as the filament bulb, or otherwise popularly called yellow bulb. It's gradually been phased out and replaced by the energy-saving bulbs. It consumes more electricity and generates more heat.
What we're trying to do now, we're trying to manage the energy that we have on our grid efficiently. People are taking more from the grid because of the inefficient, energy inefficient appliance they are using at home. And so that was what informed idea of campaigning that we should begin to use the appliance that consume less energy. I'll give you an example. Before now, everybody will use 200 watts bulb for security light just to achieve better illumination. But what has happened with improving technology now is that you can use a 30 watts bulb and you still achieve better illumination. That means you have successfully saved about 170 watts energy that will have been taken away from the grid. And that is why we're campaigning for energy efficiency. We have standards that specify the minimum requirement for each of the bulb. Take for example, it is expected that if your bulb is consuming certain amount of energy, it should give you a particular minimum brightness. So you don't just want to buy a bulb that consumes so much and is not giving you enough brightness in your house. So, and these are some of the critical areas we are looking at.
Unlike the traditional incandescent bulbs, the light-emitting diodes and compact fluorescent lights consume less electricity and shines brighter. Today, our markets are flooded with various shapes of the energy-saving bulbs that are considered cheaper and easy to handle.
Well, energy-saving bulbs are good for the homes. They last long and they are green in nature. So emissions are less, at least cost saving to every home user of those bulbs. So I would always and actually recommend energy-saving bulb.
They do last because number one, it do not consumes higher energy, and its brightness is preferable to me. I prefer its brightness to any other kind of bulb.
They are certified by ISO iOS 9001, ACE, CCE, and RHS.
How cheap and efficient is the energy-saving bulb?
This is the filament bulb that you're used to. This looks small now, but this is 100 watts. It's 100 watts. And then the other one, this is the one I call the LED, the light emitting diode. You looked at the size of this compared to the one I showed you initially. This is just 36 watts. This is just 36 watts, and it is expected to last for more than 3 years. Wow. So if you are paying more than to get it to last longer, I think it's better than buying it cheap and then you have to replace it all the time.
The sad news, however, is that some unscrupulous importers have started importing fake and substandard light-emitting diodes and compact fluorescent lights into the country. Investigations by Standard & YOU show that most of the energy-saving bulbs in our markets are substandard and do not last more than 3 days after the day of purchase. We also discovered that most consumers do not express concern over this development because they consider the amount spent on the product as too insignificant.
I bought one last month, but it just lasted for only that 1 month, and that was all. And the thing blew off. And I just installed one now, which I don't know how long that one is going to last. But that one I bought it at 150, and this one is 100 naira.
You can buy a bulb in the morning. When you put it on, before you come in the evening, when you put it on again, it's off. Even we have bought a bulb that where we are testing it inside that shop, the bulb also got burnt.
I don't know, maybe whether current, high current, but the truth is that even for Calabar, we are there, my own resident house. Once you buy bulb within, let me say, in less than 1 week, the thing will all blow. So I don't know the problem.
But how cheap is the energy-saving bulb if a consumer has to replace the product every 3 days interval?
When you go into the market to buy this bulb, don't always look for the very cheap one, because what those importers does is that they try to see how they can bring this in and have a competitive advantage over their colleagues by reducing the quality of the product they bring in, and then they sell it cheaper, and Nigeria goes for the cheaper ones rather than pay the right price. And once you get back to your house, you start having problems.
What is the SON doing about the importation of fake energy-saving bulbs into the country?
Test result also indicate that some people are still importing substandard bulb. Action has been taken severally against some of those importers, but we know some of them also smuggle this product through the border. And so I can tell you that severally, based on our test result, most of these goods have been confiscated and also destroyed.
What should a consumer look out for when purchasing this product?
Sometimes you might also think, because you're already aware of some of the brands that have been certified, we are also aware, based on the survey, that there are people that also imitate those brands. But one thing you looked at when you are buying the bulb, number one, the packaging is also very important, and then make sure you bring out the bulb and do some checks on it. You find out that if you see what I'm showing you now, there is what I call the cap, which is the one you insert into your lamp holder, and then there is the cover that covers the electronic component that is inside. Most of the time, if you try even to turn it with your hand, the moment that you find that is rotating, definitely you should begin to suspect the product, because that has to do with a problem with the technology. So if you cannot get this right, it's not likely you have a good quality. So always bring it out, check it, and look at it whether they are intact. Sometimes even the new ones that we receive, they come like this. So make sure you don't get back home before you start doing that. And I also appeal to people, also look on the body of the product if there is a country of origin. If any manufacturer that is sure of what is bringing into this country, we also want to indicate which source the product is coming from. So if you see a product that is tell you is Japan technology or whatever, not made in Japan, begin to suspect that product. It's either made in a particular country. If it's not there, also you should suspect that product.
Worried by this trend, we sought the reaction of the Electronic Dealers Association of Nigeria.
In this very particular Alaba, we have SON desk office. That will show you how serious we are in partnership with SON. So if somebody is coming in here with the genuine materials, we know items, because number one, the language must register with SON. And any item registered with SON must satisfy the OK to the standard expectation. That is why they will bring the SON logo. In some of the material bulbs, you will see SON logo. So the one that didn't bear SON logo, you can see that is not confirmed with SON by SON. So through the inspectorate and compliance team, they will now swap it. We even have a standard organization representative waiting at the market. We also have what we call customers beware. So when you are buying, you beware. If you find anyone that is not the standard, let us know immediately. Although our man is walking around the market, we will now seize the thing and hand over to SON.
We'll also begin to recommend to Nigeria that you should buy more of LED bulb, that is the light emission bulb. That could be a little bit expensive, but I can assure you it has a longer life. And then it also tolerates voltage fluctuation even more than the CFL. And you do not have issue of mercury content in the LED. So we recommend that Nigerians should also try and buy the LED.
It's a new one.
Muna fata shekaru na da za su zo mutanen mu za su yi la'akari da aikin da muke yi kuma za su lura cewa ya fi cancanta ka sai abu na kwarai da ka sai abu na arha.
Ka yi mezie n'obodo anyị a, ka anyị mee ka ihe a na-eme n'obodo anyị a, ma ihe a na-ebubata n'obodo anyị a ọ dị mma. Anyị na-ayọ biko ka anyị jikọọ aka na asị na ofu aka adịghị ekechi ngwugwu. Ka anyị jikọọ aka ka Nigeria wee wọrọ anyị obodo.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká lajú wálẹ̀ gbogbo tá a bá máa fún wa rà ká rí pé o tó pé ojú òṣùwọ̀n èyí tí ò bá yé wa àgbẹ̀ tó bá mọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀ tó wà sọ́nà èyí tá a bá dẹ̀ rà tí ò bá pójú òṣùwọ̀n ẹ lọ sí standard organization iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tó bá súnmọ́ yín jù ẹ lọ ṣàlàyé fún wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n á ràn yín lọ́wọ́.
Welcome to the world of standard and quality, where we offer you information on product safety and quality. The program is Standard and You.
Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
You're still watching Standard and You, powered by the Standards Organization of Nigeria. Please do not forget, whenever you purchase a product, please look well. Feedback is next.
Hello and nice to have you on the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. Our first message here is from Atiku Bala. It says, we are happy with the collaboration between NAFDAC and SON. Yes, it's a strategic collaboration and we hope it will serve Nigerians better. Asika Ifai says, SON is truly improving life through standards. Well said, Ifai. Ayodele Gideon says, great minds think alike to achieve greatness in ensuring safety of lives. Thank you, Ayodele. And Dave Asini says, I love this program. It's so enlightening. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Dave. We would like to let you know that your messages or comments on the program is key and critical to our quest to serve you better. One of the cardinal objectives of the program is to provide you, our esteemed viewers, with basic information on product quality and safety. Our success as a responsive agency is determined by how much impact our services have had and will continue to have on consumers and manufacturers of products. We have resolved as the SON to promote quality, and we will stop at nothing to check in the manufacturing, distribution and importation of fake and substandard products into Nigeria. Our expectation is that you will continue to work with us by providing the SON with information that will help the agency serve you better. More importantly, facilitate the growth of local industries, especially small and medium enterprises, SMEs, considered to be the engine of growth of any economy. So, stop lamenting and crying over your products you have found to be fake or substandard. Don't just watch. Call us or send in your messages to the number 0705-972-4455. Follow us on Facebook at Standard and You, Instagram and Twitter at Standard and You _. You can also send a mail to the address, thestandardandyou@gmail.com. Don't forget, if you have missed any episode so far, we have a vibrant YouTube channel where you can watch online at youtube.com/standardandyou. From the entire production crew, good evening.